Today we're talking about my favorite anime protagonist of the new gen, Asta from Black Clover. Now Asta's like transformation from the beginning of the show, like which he was just like a basically a nobody, no magical powers, nothing, to turning into like a magical knight that was strong enough to rival like captains and straight up devils is something that was done so tastefully in the anime and I guess the manga. I've never read the manga, so we're just talking straight anime right now. I think it was done so well that me as an anime unk certified, I could appreciate the way it was done. I mean, who doesn't love the underdog character, you know what I mean? So Asta obviously starts off as the ultimate underdog in this entire series, arguably. He was born without any magic, didn't even receive a grimoire at the beginning of the show, which personally, I don't think I could. I don't think I could have handled that amount of shame. But I guess they had to start him off at the lowest of lows that they could, just so they can build him up from there. So I could respect it. And the thing is, I think like the struggle that he goes through is one of the main reasons that like people could relate to him so much. He's not like a prodigy that's just like given superpowers here, no, like just unnecessarily broken items that just thrown at him for no reason. But he had to work for every single thing that he has, which is kind of debatable with the whole devil thing, because I guess the devil chose him, but he also had to work for it because at the end of the day, he's just a dude swinging around a sword. So the struggle that he goes throughout like the beginning of the show to where he is at the end of the show, it's done in such a way that it's pretty relatable. It's not like he's some protagonist that just gets like powers thrown at him for existing. Besides the point. He's just a kid with like a really big dream. He wants to become the Wizard King, and his like determination, like his relentless determination to fight through whatever adversities come his way, it really embodies everything that he is about. And basically, it's a shonen anime, so every shonen protagonist is kind of gonna have that I'm gonna get to my goal no matter what attitude. But I think that's what makes him a great shonen protagonist and my personal favorite for the new gen. Well, if you can get past him yelling, I'm gonna be the Wizard King every 5 minutes. Fortunately, it does get better later on, but like, sheesh, that's like it's very annoying in the first 10, 15 episodes is like never ending relentless. Now, obviously, like Asta's whole shtick is just hard work and determination and just being like the strongest motherfucker out there, right? That man gets super, super duper jacked later on, and instead of relying on just his magic, he just trains his hands just until he's just like a bodybuilder, strongman levels of strength. So I don't know if I'd really consider him much of a swordsman. It's more like he has a piece of metal that's the shape of a sword, and he swings that at people, because there's not much technique going on there, if I'm being honest. It's just a giant slash. But still, it's pretty freaking peak. Like, you do have to admit, though, like, the dedication is pretty inspiring. It reminds me of, like, OG Naruto. It's like so just seeing him do his thing kind of just hits, like, a personal nostalgia bone for me. Because Naruto is my childhood very first anime, and I will die on the Naruto team, no matter what you say about it. It has a special place in my... I mean, like any good shonen protagonist, like he has to go up against some stacked odds, which is I guess how they make the show entertaining. But still, this man will just like willpower his way through any adversity that comes his way. And at some points, this man really does just like go through the ringer. Like some of these people are insane. Especially the Diamond fight. The Diamond Dude fight, he got his shit handed to him. He actually, even at the beginning of the show, like when he didn't receive his grimoire though, you have to give it to him. Not for 1 second did he like become depressed and question his life. My man straight up said, "You know what? Fuck the grimoire. I'm still gonna be say Pirate King. I'm still gonna be the Wizard King. I don't care." Now, obviously, the hardest part, in my opinion, to get into Black Clover is basically Asta's personality. The first couple episodes, not even first couple episodes, the first like arc and a half, is just literally him being so freaking loud and obnoxious. And I understand if people can't get past that, but just so you know, it does get better. Because later on, like fortunately, they toned down his like loud boisterousness a bit, and I think it really makes him more likable. And obviously he's supposed to have like the overly friendly and like joyous like nature to him, which helps him like make friends in the show. He's like the stereotypical like really nice but really dumb character, so like a little nice little brother that you would have. So I understand why so many people like him, but at the same time the delivery of his character hurts that. So it's kind of like the optimism is there, just could have been worked on a little bit. Also, like, actually back to the plot, not just the delivery and voice acting. I think like his actual personality is really nice because he like there's so many characters that probably need to go in therapy, but him being like, Asta, the friendly guy, he definitely helps them like better themselves emotionally. Like there's a lot of sad characters in there that Asta's like positivity just helps by him just being around. So you gotta give it to him. Man's just genuinely nice. Alright, so let's talk about his like abilities, and obviously like anti-magic in that universe is pretty much like an unheard of thing. Like it's pretty broken for the most part, but I would personally say like his anti-magic swords, it's yes, it allows him to nullify people's magic, but I think the most powerful thing in his arsenal is just his like natural like physical abilities, like his muscles and speed and stuff like that. Because if you really think about it, the man just has a piece of metal that he has to hit you with. So we have people out here who could summon like tornadoes and like a straight up volcano blast or like a blizzard and just throw it at you. So how are you supposed to dodge a volcano? I mean, you gotta give him credit though. He gets his ass kicked a lot, and not once do you ever see this man back down or just be like, oh my god, I'm too weak for this. He's always just like, alright, try harder, move forward. And I think his physical abilities really help him actually get up and close to the enemy, which is like the only range where he's actually a threat. Because anything outside of that, he'd probably have to throw the sword at you. Realistically, the only times in a fight that you ever see him almost lose is if the person keeps their distance and starts just throwing whatever magical ability they have at him. Like every time he's up close and personal, almost always he dog walks that person. Almost always. Now, let's talk about Yuno, the number one Nepo baby in this entire show. Okay? I can't say I don't like him. It's hard for me to like him. Okay? So, but let's talk about Asta and him, okay? Like, you have to admit, the rivalry between Asta and Yuno, at first it seems pretty typical for the most part, but I think the one thing that really sets them apart is the fact that their relationship or rivalry relationship is not toxic. They're just friends, but they're on different teams and stuff like that. They still very much respect each other and they share a dream, but they both can acknowledge that, oh, let's both just try to achieve this dream, and whoever gets the dream, that's my friend. I'm happy for my friend. Which is something you don't really see much in a lot of rivalries that are portrayed. I mean, what can I say? The whole point of Asta's character, and honestly, like the majority of Black Clover, is just straight up not giving up. And he basically represents that to a T. I mean, his mantra is surpassing his limits, which was given to him by Yami, but still, he represents that and follows that like it's his way of life. Now, I mean, Asta's perseverance and like his refusal to ever back down in a fight, it's something that I feel like is pretty inspiring, and I just love seeing like him as a character just ram his head against the enemy until he could like either surpass them or come to some kind of solution that he's happy with. And that kind of perseverance, I think, is a very important characteristic that a lot of people need to work on. And also, like, at the end of the day, this is a shonen anime, and I feel like his characteristics, his personality, like it's done in a way that is like the embodiment of a shonen protagonist. I feel like a young man watching this show, they could look at Asta and be like, they could definitely be inspired by him as a character. Unlike some other people, like some other protagonist, that I'm a little bit more concerned if like a shonen watcher, like a little kid, is watching this character growing up. I'm like, oof, would I want my like little cousin to be looking at this, and like his mindset being influenced by this character. No, but Asta, I would be very happy by, because that man is a G. And I know, like, he probably does get a lot of hate for being, like, a basic anime character, like a basic anime shonen character. And I know a lot of people like to shit on anything that's too basic. But at the end of the day, I think, like, it's a new era of anime. And I think he fits perfectly into the, like, what you would expect from a shonen protagonist. So, yes, basic, but I think it's done so well that like younger generations would appreciate him as a character and the show as a whole, so yeah, I mean that's basically like my list. I just think he's an awesome character. I'm really, really hoping that they continue the show. I've been waiting for it to be continued for like 2 years now. I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to lose hope that it is. Because even if you look it up online, they're like, oh, it's gonna start soon. 2 years ago. Oh, they're gonna have one released a year ago. It's just I hope they finish the show, man. Because, I mean, from what I've seen from, like, little panels of the manga, that shit looks crazy good. And I just really hope we actually get to see animated. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching.